we have to take into account the horrendous character of the person who would have the gall or the audacity to say to another human being that you're never going to amount to anything. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your December reading. I'm Princess India for the 99 and the 2000 and whatnot, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations on having the highest views for November, Virgo. I knew y'all loved me. See how things work out? You know, y'all got like a whole 15 minutes of love because I forgot y'all in the November recap, and then y'all got the highest views, so y'all all up at the top of the totem pole and things, you know what I'm saying? Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, you know what I'm saying? Or winter solstice or whatever it is that everyone else celebrates. Happy holidays. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, we're going to jump right into you guys' cards because I have a bunch of videos that are coming out this month. So with your generals, we're just going to focus on that, and everything else is going to be broken down over time because it's a whole bunch of information that I got to get out to you guys because, you know, it's the last month of the year, you know. We got to prepare for 2020. Epic things are happening. So anyway, we're going to ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for Virgos for the month of December, please, Spirit. Anything they need to know, anything of utmost importance, I ask that come to the forefront in this here reading, please, Spirit. As always, Spirit, I know you're good for it. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot or whatever. I thank you in advance, Spirit. So let's hop right in, my wonderful Virgo brethren and sisterin. You feel me? Central issue, challenge, past influence, what's before you, what's below you, and what is above you. All right, so central energy for this month. Whoa, we're talking about the King of Swords in the reverse. What's going on, Virgo? This is challenged by Jesus. The Prince of Swords in the reverse. Okay. Past influence, the 10 of Cups in reverse. Oh my gosh, Virgo, what happened? Underlying influence is the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okie dokie, lemon chokey. Your above energy is the Emperor. I always have to keep in mind that this is December and that people spend time with their families. This seems very much to me like a very vindictive father figure. And I feel that this okay, this is the whole thing. I haven't even turned over the last card yet, but this is a message for somebody. So, with it being, Christmas, Kwanzaa time and things of the sort, trying to smush it all together, holiday, solstice, whatever. Anyway, with this being holiday time, and taking into account the information that Virgo came into last month, what this is seeming like to me, and this is not necessarily entire reading, but this is a specific message for someone. You have a very cynical dad or stepdad, father figure, somebody like that. I mean, for some of you, it could be your husband. But I mean, this feels like not saying that this is just for a male, like the person that would be listening to this being a male, but that energy is kind of stepping out to me more than the female, but the female energy is still present, so it's for both, but I think this is probably going to resonate more with a dude. But it's having a dad that is very cynical, that's very hard to please, high standards. You might call your dad a narc. I'm not saying that he's a narcissist, but you may feel that your dad's a narcissist. But he's someone who's very unemotional, and it's almost as if no matter what you do, it's never good enough, in so many words. And I feel that it's something, this specific group of people that I'm speaking to, it's something that you accomplished that you were very, very proud of, right? And I don't know if this is something with y'all. I can't necessarily say it has or hasn't happened because it depends on when you watch this, right? But what I would say for the people who watch this and this has not happened yet, and you know that your dad is like this, if it's something that you accomplished in your sole purpose for, when you meet with him or y'all have Christmas dinner or whatever, light the menorah, I don't know. When you get around your dad it's more or less the thought, or this happened last year, whatever. But it's the thought of you accomplished this thing that made you feel extremely fulfilled and proud of yourself and so on and so forth. And your thought is that, wow, I'm proud of myself. I accomplished this. And it's like the big challenge now is being able to go to, you know, this father figure or authoritarian figure and be like, ha, look at this. I have this and I'm happy. And I feel like because him being who he is and having the issues that he has, it's like he's going to pretty much chop you at the knee. You know what I mean? So you kind of walk in with your shoulders back and feeling very proud. And it's almost this person knowing you and knowing your weaknesses so well that it's like they're going to take the wind out of your sails with something that they say. And the reason why I say this, and how I could translate this to the whole collective, is why it's so important when we achieve things or we accomplish something that's fulfilling for us. The self-sabotatory thing that we could do is looking for validation or vindication from someone outside of ourselves. So meaning, if, you know, you finish college because you want to prove a point to someone who said you were never going to be anything, it's like we have to take into account the horrendous character of the person who would have the gall or the audacity to say to another human being that you're never going to amount to anything. So trying to prove a point to a person who is that low vibrational and that cynical, you know what I mean, that degrading of another human form, there's literally nothing one could do that would ever be good enough to change their mind. So the realization that Virgo needs to have this month, regardless if it's this specific situation or not, is keeping in mind and then taking into account, we talked about last month, that the decisions that you make going forward, that you're making them for you and your happiness, whether other people validate them or not, because that's what matters at the end of the day. It's like, if what you're striving towards or the goal that you have set for, you know, 2020 or this month or what have you, if this is to, you know, prove someone else wrong, that's the wrong reason to be pursuing it. It's like you want to do it for you. So whether people co-sign it or not, it's like you're still going to be straight where you are, right? So another thing that I'm seeing here, let me turn over this other card. Oh, beautiful. Going forward, we have the Fool. So overall, what we're talking about here, in spite of the specific circumstances, Virgo, your goal this month, like your personal development goal, your spiritual goal, is starting anew, right? It's getting an idea. It's getting a goal, a desire, what have you. Nurturing that within yourself this month. And I feel this in a sense of like combating all of these blockages. And for some of you, I feel it's very much of an inner critic, like you're very overcritical of yourself, which I know because I have lots of Virgo friends, you know, it's the little perfectionism going on here. But I feel the thing that you guys would want to leave behind, or what would behooving you and what would behoove you and what has been holding you back up to this point, to me, is a lot of mental space. And how that kind of aligns with the message I was saying before, for those of you where this isn't the case with this male figure, it can be, it's your inner critic, but the internalized voice is a voice from your past. So whether it's you had a critical parent way back when, or boss or whatever, an older sibling, it doesn't matter. It's someone who made you think that you were less than. And I feel that the things in your life, it's not that you guys don't have people, places, and circumstances around you that aren't fulfilling. I just feel that the real in your mind, or your inner critic, is making it very difficult to see where happiness could be hidden in your immediate space, so to speak. So it's almost like diamond in the rough kind of energy. But the main overall theme that it is that I'm seeing here is that it's a mental space, inner critic mindset, or someone that you're, someone whose opinion that you value a great deal has a lot to do with what's been holding you back. So it's not so much so that the energy isn't here for you to achieve happiness or fulfillment or whatever it is you guys are striving towards. It's how we're perceiving it, right? So that kind of goes back to what we've been talking about for you guys. Like I said in the November recap, and I was talking about like the devil energy and the lover's energy. in a very mental space. If we look at that bondage energy with the devil as like, you know, a lower vibrational mindset that's very self-defeating, I'm not good enough, you know, very low vibe thoughts, with our thoughts being things ultimately, because what we think we ultimately speak, what we think we believe and we act upon in the external world. It's more or less doing a mental cleansing this month. And like I said in the recap, think about what it is that you're thinking about, because that has more weight than any external factor in your life. Because the liberating thing about us being able to choose what and how we think is the fact that even if everything in our life is going to hell in a handbasket, you still have the power to think about it how you desire to think about it. You can still find the silver lining, the optimism, or the positivity in it. And I feel with you guys being able to overcome this, and not necessarily saying that it's this month, because of course all things take time. And I always tell you guys, when it comes to thought health and things of the sort, if this is something that you've attempted to do, like think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts, and that has not worked, then you can always go see your local friendly neighborhood therapist, right? Because with, you know, stigma with therapy and everything, I'm not going to go on a whole rant about it, but understand how helpful a therapist can be to your life. It's not necessarily that you have to come lay on the couch for the next 10 years. It's like we do solution-focused therapy to where it could be something quick, fast, in a hurry, like an inner critic or negative thoughts, right? Like increasing your thought health. And that's something you could literally, you know, 4 sessions and you have a good foundation for it. So like a solid month in therapy and you're Gucci, right? So it's skill building, so to speak. So that's how I would say if you guys feel that this is something you've struggled with for a great deal, because I feel in a lot of ways, man, it's an inner enemy, you know? And it's coming to the realization of that. But I feel that all of the baggage that you guys have had has all been, it's had a lot to do with a mental space. And there's a need to infuse feminine energy in the sense of being more gentle and nurturing with yourself and needing to parent yourself if you were not ever parented in the past tense. And then I'm looking at the bottom of you guys' deck. You guys have the 6 of Wands in the reverse. Oh, man. This card is beautiful in the upright. Wow. What am I getting from this? This is weird. I'm just going to say it. Being too focused on the root. This is going to rhyme. You can't see the fruit, Virgo. I don't know what that has to do with the traditional meaning of the 6 of Wands in the reverse. But if you focus on the root, you can't see the fruit. Okay, never mind. I get it. All right, here we go. This has nothing to do with the traditional meaning of the 6 of Wands. But if you're focused on the root, you can't see the fruit. Okay, so we're talking about your life experience. Oh, this is so wonderful. The seed of the negative thoughts, negative perception, or, you know, the inner cynicism, inner critic, the thing that's coming from is the root, right, of your life, meaning the foundation, right? So we're talking about your soul's experience, right? So you incarnating into this life, I like to think from my belief system, at least, is that we all had like a pretty general idea of what it is that we were coming here to learn. And we chose to incarnate at the time that we did, meaning the day we were born, the month we were born, the year we were born, the birth time that we came out of our moms. And the purpose for that was because with our birth charts, this creates like a code or like a calendar or a map for our life. It gives us certain characteristics and experiences and perceptions and so on and so forth. But when we're talking about spirit saying that you're focused on the root, therefore you can't see the fruit, it's not that the fruit. So this is going back into what it is that I say. This was at the bottom of the deck. So Maybe I should just pick one card from the bottom of the deck and let that be a whole reading. Anyway, so the reason why you can't see the fruit that has sprung forth from the root, your past experiences, it's a change of perception. It's needing to see that regardless of what it is you've been through your life, the key is not focusing on the stuff that went awry in the past, but it's seeing how what you endured in the past has transitioned into something that's very life-giving, being fruit, right? It's something that can nourish you, right? It's something that you can nourish others with. So overall, that's what it is that gives you guys this full energy as your goal going forward. You're able to release the baggage because it's literally a change of perspective. So like I said, with these cards in the reverse, right? I'm not really, like, I see these as not necessarily blocks per se, but I'm seeing it as this King of Swords, the Prince of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles all are in reverse, but these are all energies that are here and that are useful to you. Even with the Six of Wands in reverse, this is an energy that's here and that's useful to you, but it's a need for you to change your perspective, right? So it's that aha moment, looking at things from a different angle, and that's what causes all of these cards to go upright. So if we go back to the traditional meaning of the Six of Wands, your victory is already assured and your victory is already here. You take dominion over the inner critic. You become the emperor. You become the King of Swords in the upright, right? With the fervor of the Prince of Swords, right? Being emotionally fulfilled and not having fear going forward into anything in your life, because you know that you can do it, you're qualified, and it's always going to work out for your highest good, in so many words. So it's almost relinquishing the need for external validation from anyone outside of you, be it, job, friends, family members, relationships, or whatever. And it's like you being... So, and that goes back to the original story too, like I was saying with that father figure person. It's everything that you do being for you. And if people co-sign it, dope. If they don't, then who cares? You know what I'm saying? So anywho, before we get into the dice, I'm going to go ahead and pick the 3 cards for the 3 groups in the extended, which is, let me tell you, with Sagittarius, because a little thing about me is at the end of the year, I go into full-on surrender mode. Oh, which reminds me, I got to pick an oracle for y'all too. I go into full-on surrender mode, right? So I am open to relinquishing anything in my life that's no longer serving me. So if spirit is like, get rid of the house and go move in a van, I'm like, I'm about that life. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I know that non-attachment is the key to bliss. So anything that has become a blockade in my way, I'm willing to let it go, right? And with me doing Sag's reading, when I went to do their extended, I literally was inspired to do it an entirely different way than I have ever done it before. And a part of me wanted to resist it, but I was like, nah, let's go with it. And literally, thank you, Sagittarius, if you have Sag in your chart, it's way more efficient than I have ever done them before, and I am very excited about it. So you guys are going to be the second ones that get the new way that the extendeds are done. So go ahead and pick card 1, 2, or 3 if you're about that extended life. If not, that's totally cool, but go ahead and pick 1, 2, or 3, and pause me if you need to. So if you pick card number 1, we have intensity. That's group 1. If you pick card number 2, we have the source. That's group 2. If you pick card number 3, we have the outsider, and that is group 3. I can see very much how this relates, but it's beautiful nonetheless. So let's go ahead and throw the dice of resonance. Where is... Because I'm picking a surrender card for everyone, for what you guys, there they are, for what you guys want to let go in December. But ask your yes or no question for the dice of resonance. And what's not to tap on? All right, we have Gemini, we have Libra, we have Rising. The answer to your question is yes, and we have the X. Dun, dun, dun. Somebody going back to your hometown and you're going to run into them at Walmart. I don't know. It might happen. The X, rising Gemini, Libra, and yes is the answer to your question. And I'm going to go ahead and pick this surrender card of what Virgo needs to surrender in the month of December. That rhymes. What does Virgo need to surrender in the month of December, please, Spirit? What does Virgo need to surrender in the month of December? Oh, that one's sticking out. Surrender to what is. We're talking about living in the present moment. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. Well, maybe that's why me telling you guys my little story about accepting change. I'm telling you now, Virgo, everything that's happening for you guys, everything that's falling away, whatever it is that you're dealing with, put on those lenses of seeing that it's happening for your highest good, because everything that's shifting, and changing this month, I believe all of that is trying to get you guys into position for what it is that you're desiring overall. But the way that you co-create with spirit is to get your mental space in check, my friend. All right. Okay. There's some relevance with Gemini here because that came up again in the dice that have no name. I forgot what planet that is. What planet is that? And then we have the number 2. Oh, that's Uranus. Interesting. That's very fascinating. I need to write that down because I'm going to look at that in the extended. And you guys, if you're not going to the extended, you can definitely Google what Uranus and Gemini energy means, because there's some relevance with Gemini here. Okay, so let's see. For Uranus, it says golden aura, Christ consciousness, and agape love. So these are the overall goals of this energy. It says you're being challenged to become more than human. It's a call for change and growth in our consciousness. Your motivations are shifting from personal to spiritual. The pilot of your soul's evolutionary drive or desire is attracting outer events and situations into your life that reflect the inner needs. These provide the stepping stones for your spiritual growth. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I heard for the 6 of Wands in the reverse. It's like, don't focus on the root. Don't focus on the things you went through that got you here. Focus on what these experiences gave you. And it goes on to say, oh, wow. Because I can never get in contact with you, I'm literally recording right now, but I'm going to put you on hold because I had to answer this because when I call you back, you never answer. So hold on for 2 seconds. That's one of my friends that is so dodgy. It's hard to get in contact with them. So I'm keeping them on hold while I finish saying this to you all. So anywho, it says a challenge to become more than human, mental understanding of the higher planes of consciousness, intuitive intellectualism, which is the word that I made up that I feel describes everything that it is that I stand for. You too, my friend. Realization that you are a walking miracle, spirit and bone, heaven on earth, a walking paradox, applying practical methods to intuitive wisdom. And where this falls into alignment with the number 2 that you guys got for your major arcana for the month, being the high priestess, is taking eternal wisdom or ancient wisdom or however you want to look at it. It's like divine knowledge. And like with the emperor energy is infusing that into this external energy that we have as human master builders and being able to take tangible action on this divine wisdom, which is all intuitive intellectualism is. It's having spiritual knowledge and wisdom, but having the ability to apply it in a very practical way. And that's what you guys are mastering this month. But what I'm seeing for Virgo is you guys have the external mastery in check. The whole thing is making sure that your inner world, so your inner feminine energy, your high priestess energy, is free of the perils of the mental space, right? The low vibrational negative emotions. So what it says for the high priestess and the number 2 is diversity, bloom, fertility, self-reflection. And your reflection question for this month is, what are you manifesting? And I can tell you the answer to that. What you're manifesting, everything it is that you see in your life, like we said in the beginning of the reading, is a byproduct of your thought space. It can't be any other way. So until we clear our mind we're going to continue to manifest exactly what's in here out there. So anywho, Virgo, that has been your December reading. I love your freaking face. I'm going over to Vimeo. If you're about that life, the link is below. If not, still love your freaking face. I will see you guys sooner than later. Deuces. Who has a tendency to manipulate or control, to be the one who wants to be the head honcho over everything, and putting this face out to everyone. And this is something we talked about before, is like a person who's happy and I got it all together, and you know, I'm better than you or whatever. But it's like underneath it all, this person, you know, kind of uses people for their own gain. And to me, for my group 1 people, is there needs to be a central focus, right? I feel this more or less as external forces that are pulling at you all. It's a need to make a decision of what it is that you're headed towards. So what I'm feeling for my group 2 people, another thing that I feel with my group 2 people is that there's a great deal of burnout. And I feel that this burnout has happened because it's with my group 3 people. For my group 3 people, it feels very much of like that inner critic energy, like not enough, like I don't have enough to give, or I don't have any talents, or I don't have anything within me to contribute. You know what I mean? And looking at life from a very pessimistic way. I'll never be happy. People always betray me. Like it's not fair. Like kind of a woe is me kind of energy. Oh God, this is a disaster.